Welcome into the show, everyone. I'm Julian Sador, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Trayvon Miles, Brandon Boston over there. We're going to hear from Drew Williams in just a bit.
That's exactly right. Welcome into the only live and local show giving you all you need to know about sports here on the shore.
That's right, and basketball season is finally here. We finally get to see some hoops action, guys.
Yes, exactly.
I've been waiting for it. 'Tis the season for balling right now.
That's
and
right.
You guys have been busy all week with the start of high school hoop season. We're going to kick off our coverage tonight in Ridgely.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We was already seeing some great games. And our game of the night, first of all, coming from Snow Hill and North Carolina. The Eagles making the long journey all the way to Ridgely tonight, but they came to play. This was a close game throughout the first half. Chris Curler kicking out to Leroy Fitchett, Brandon's favorite player already. He's going to drive and nail the mid-range shot. Snow Hill would lead for most of the first half. They're going to pass it ahead to Teron Lewis. Nice finish right there. Now, before the half, Snow Hill looking for a little more, but you got to keep your eye on the ball. Going to hit Bessie Brada right in the back. Vidal Bonds passing up to Ethan Dvorak. North Carolina goes down 2 at the break.
Now, out of the locker room, North Carolina took control. Here's Fitchett from beyond the arc. Bulldogs led by 12 going into the fourth quarter, but the Eagles not done yet. Skylar Blank with the rainbow tray, and that ignited the comeback. Here's one of the best in the Bayside, Shaquan Williams, with the nice fadeaway shot right here. He had 27 tonight. Bulldogs struggling to hang on to this game in the final minutes. Fitchett going to drive on the baseline, goes up and under, and with the beautiful finish right here, North Carolina would be up 1 with seconds to go. If you're Snow Hill, get it to 32, and he banks it home. And then watch as Williams' defense prevents North Carolina from even getting the ball in as the buzzer sounds. And Snow Hill with a huge comeback tonight. They win 59-58.
Had a timeout before, and coach said, if I get it, just go hard to the hole and just execute. I think we responded good. I love our defensive intensity. After they did that run, we just turned it up on defense, and that's what really won us the game. I mean, Snow Hill has always been an underrated team. Has been that for like 2-3 years. Just show us we can run with the best of the best.
But that wasn't the only instant classic we had, because here at DSI we serve them up to you. We also had an instant classic in Stevensville last night.
Yeah.
That's right. Decatur, a different looking team this season. How would they do against Kent Island, though? We found that out last night. Decatur making the long trek to Kent Island, taking on the Buccaneers. Kent Island out to a big lead early on, but Drew Horizon putting the Seahawks on his back, goes baseline and gets the big basket. Horizon again down in the paint, and the trees, he gets the layup to go. Seahawks down 14 at the break. We're now tied.
Yeah, now Kent Island standing their ground. That was John Van Wee. Hawks down 3, needing a 3. Trey Bunting, Trey ball, buckets with seconds to go.
Clutch.
Decatur would get the ball back with 1.4 seconds left. Howeisen going to get it at half court. Back of the iron off. We go to overtime. Now, Kent Island would have an early lead in the extra period, but Decatur once again not backing down. Both teams honestly deserve to win this game. Bunting, the hero at the end of regulation. How about a little bit more in the overtime? 1, 2, 3 of those.
The kid can shoot.
Entire gym on their feet for the finish. Cheney Skeens with Kent Island down 5, going to sink this 3 to make it a 2-point game. Howeisen at the line with a chance to ice it, but he misses not one, but he's going to miss both free throws.
Say it ain't so.
So one last chance for Kent Island. They push it all the way up the floor. Keep your eye on the clock, and they are not able to get the shot off. Decatur comes back down 14 at the half to win 58-56. Here's Howeisen, who finished the game with 28 points.
Coach really got on us at halftime and told us to pick it up, the intensity on defense. We did that, and then we scored the ball better by working the ball around and playing as a unit. I mean, it's a great way to start the season off. I mean, we were down, so it means a lot to fight back and really bring us to a win. It's a great way to start the season off.
Definitely a great way to start the season off. We just saw 2 great teams right there, 2 great games, actually. Now we're going to send it over to Drew Williams, who has more from around the Bayside.
Thanks, Brandon. As you mentioned, more great games to get started. And as you maybe heard in the preview, we got to go to Pocomoke, the pride and joy of our own Kenny Christopher. Easton taking the trip to take on the Warriors. Pocomoke looking for their first Bayside win since 2018, and Easton was starting strong. Sean Warner's going to drive to the basket and hits the fadeaway to tie things up at 2. But Pocomoke pulling things away late in the half. De'Aaron Jones is going to fake left and pull up for the 3. And then Jones with the pass inside to Charles Finney, and Finney finishes strong underneath the basket. Pocomoke takes the 33-27 lead at the half. Second half action now. Easton starting to wake things up. Deontay Hinson is going to drive down the baseline. He's going to go up and under and finish with a tough defense to cut the deficit to just 2. But then late in the fourth, Nazir Umits, he's going to force the turnover and get the layup to go. Easton would take a 2-point lead late in this ball game, but the Warriors, they're not going anywhere. The Washington transfer Jahari Annie, he's going to show out. Gets there and he gets the one layup to retake the lead. 19 points for the senior. Then it's Ennie in the corner. He finds the big man Nigel Houston in the paint, and he gets up for the layup as Pocomoke gets their first conference win in over a year, guys, with a 66-62 win over Easton.
It feels great. Like, I ain't played with these boys before. I just played my game. We just got a dub.
And the difference between this year and last year is experience. Everybody knows their position.
I thought that this was going to be a good year. Well, it's only the beginning. So we'll take the first win by 1 point, by 6 points, by however many points it was, but I'm excited.
Very excited is Coach, folks. Yeah. And then another game, head coaching debut for Greg Bubby Brown for the Bennett Clippers on the road in Cambridge. The Vikings out to an early lead. Transition offense finds Logan Middleton in the corner, and he's going to knock down the triple. Vikings out to a 14-4 run to open the game, but Bennett battles right back. They close off the quarter on a 13-2 run to take the lead, capped off by a Parker Towie hook shot. Cambridge goes back up in the second half. Rajan Ali, he's going to snag the ball and goes coast to coast for the up and under layup. The Clippers would actually snag the lead in the fourth quarter, and this guy was a big reason why. Corey Smith with the pull-up jumper from 15 feet. He finished the night with 15 points, but just too much CSD in this game, guys. Pretty ball movement leads to a falling away lay-in from DeJawan Jackson. Vikings, they win and spoil the debut with a final of 77-63. And then North Dorchester, look at that Jim, hooping in the new one for the first time and last night taking on Y-High. First chance to get a look at the Indians following last year's title run. The Eagles keeping it close in the first. The Eagles with a finger roll lane. He gets that one to go early. Y-High on the attack. Taiwan Hardy is going to gather the miss, go back up and get it. And then a slight little flex after. Okay, I see you, young man. Dorchester not going away. Alexian Jones, the Eagles keeping up with Y-High early. But the Indians, that experience paying off. They would break loose. Antoine Wilson, he's going to drive, hit, and gets the foul call. Y-High, they'd win the first quarter battle 23-11. But give credit to the guys from North Dorchester. They stayed around all night, but the Indians, they take this one 88-81. Guys?
More scores to get to you from the boys' side of things. Kent County taking care of Mardella. They win this one by a final of 69-57. Jayshon Freeman with 22 points in that game. Washington also, that is not a typo. They get a big victory over St. Michael's. 103-27 was the final. For more on what else we had, we're going to toss it back over to the wall to Drew.
Yeah, we got Kent County, as you mentioned earlier, and then we'll switch gears over to the girls' game, and we'll move things over toward Bennett. James and Bennett with the weight of heavy expectations this season, opening the year yesterday at home against Cambridge. And now South Dorchester, the duo of Makara Hansen and Zaire Peanut Smullen for JMB back for another year. Hansen getting it started, spots up and drains the three. Olivia Owens on the fast break is going to find Hansen. Hansen's going to turn around and hit the floater. She had 14 in the first half. Not much went right for the Vikings, but Kenya Johns with the sick behind the back move and gets the layup to go. She had a team high 7 in the first half, but in the second quarter, it would turn into the Peanut Smullen show. Listen to this stat line, guys. 5 threes in the second quarter, 6 in the half, 29 points in the first half for the seniors. Bennett makes an opening season statement with a 101-38 win over Cambridge. And then down College Avenue, Queen Anne's girls hoops visiting Parkside. Coach Warren White boasting South Player of the Year Jackie Wright. The Rams dominating in the first quarter. Stephanie Holmes pulls up the corner. She had 6 at the half. And then later on, Wright with the long pass up to Amanda Ballard. Flexing through the N1, goes up through the contact. Yeah, she's got a lot of passion, folks. You'll see that later on in the season. Rams lead 19-0 after one. Second frame, Ballard returning the favor. This time goes over to Wright, and she finishes off the break. QA battling in the second quarter. Ball goes to Jaya Hollins for the free throw line jumper. The Lions, nice little run in the second, but the Rams just too strong, namely that being Wright. A walking double-double, and the Rams take this one at home 49-40. Guys, we'll send it back over to you for the desk for a little more of the wrap-up.
Okay, it's way too early to say who's going to win the Bayside and make predictions.
No, not according to you. No.
Well,
no,
I mean,
you put that pressure on.
I put that on you guys.
You put that pressure on.
I just leave the show. I let you guys do that. But your early impressions on what we've seen so far in Maryland.
Well, just going back on what we've talked about a little bit tonight, Shaquan Williams, man, putting Snow Hill on his back tonight in Ridgely. No doubt he is a great player. There was a lot made of a debate of if he was a top 10 player in the Bayside or if he
he got
wasn't.
a lot of flack for that, Trey.
Yeah, of course, he came out and showed it tonight. But I want to see him do it all year long. I know he's a wonderful player, so kudos to him. Also, Cambridge, a handful of talent. Not really one guy you can single out on that Cambridge team, but they get the job done year in and year out.
The thing I want to focus on really is why high. We saw them last year go to the finals.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of seniors on that team, and against North Dorchester, winning 88-81. When I was there in the first quarter, they really had control of the game. But I really do wonder how this season goes along, how they're going to fill in those gaps of the leaders that they lost from last year's team.
Yeah, Jaden Baker was a tough loss. If they had Baker back, then we would tell you right now who was going to win the Bayside.
But also North Dorchester.
Yeah, North Dorchester.
Keeping it close.
Yeah, they played very tough. All right, that's going to do it for the A block. When we return, we're taking things to Delaware. One Dover Senator is the newest member of the 1,000 Point Club. We're discussing it when DSI returns.
Hey, I'm Coach Fuchs, Pocomoke High School basketball coach, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider. Woo!